Observables. Observables provides support for passing messages between publishers and subscriber in your applications. Observable offers significant benefits over other techniques for event handling, asynchronous programming, and handling multiple values. Observables are declaratives. This means you define a function for publishing values, but it is not executed until a consumer subscribes to it. The subscribed consumer then receive notification until the function completes or until they unsubscribe. Subscriber can deliver multiple type of values of any types like literal. How to create observable function. Observable define subscriber function. That function will notify to the subscriber the new values or notify that it is completed or is there any error. Subscriber will pass an observer to observable function, and then subscriber will be notified with the function called next, error, complete methods. Whenever the error or complete gets called, it will no more iterate or deliver any new values. It will consider finished and it will not execute any new next methods. And subscriber then, when we create we subscribe it, it returns a subscription object which can be used later to unsubscribe the observable. So our application is ready. Now we'll go into application, cd demo observable. Now start code. Code is my primary tool for development, so we are in the code and this is our application is already there. Now I'm going to add a new service called demo service. Go to terminal, ng service demo. It will add a service to my project. Here it is. Let's open it. So for creating observable, we need observable class that will import from RxJS. Okay, now what we want to do right now is that we want to return an observable which publish some numbers, and for that they have RxJS already has one function called off. We can use this function and this function will be returned by this function. So I'm creating this method, publishing method, get sequence of type observable of numbers. So our observable will return a number type. So here we are providing the type in which observable returning the data. So here if we are not sure it is returning multiple type of data, then we will use any, otherwise we will use the specific number type here, and it is returning of some numbers, some random number I am creating, 4, 5, some sequence. Okay, done. So our observable ready. Now go to app module, add our import our observable here, method here, sorry, import demo service from demo service. Because it is service, we have to service, I think, yeah, and it has to return, it has to be provided by this application. So our setup is done. We'll go to app component ts, same thing here, we'll import service demo service service from demo service, and this observer ready. So first we will save everything. So what we are doing here, we will inject the service in this component. As we know already, we can do through component constructor private service demo service. Now okay, this is service required on init, on init, and it required on init function init, and in this function we are just calling this service, subscribing this service dot subscribe get sequence subscribe result, and we are just printing result console.log result component is ready. Now we'll run this application ng build ng serve ng serve will start the application. Let's go to Chrome and localhost and open the developer tool. Refreshing it, and if you see it is returning iterating 1 2 3 4 5. So now we see how can we return our own function rather than inbuilt function. So we'll create a new observable type of number, and here we pass the observable as we mentioned in our observer. We will pass observer as we mentioned in our initial slides. Here is our main function observer. So now observer will have a, as we mentioned in last time, observer have a 3 function called next observer dot next. So next will publish the value, whatever value we want to publish we'll pass here. Suppose for example 1 next 2 3, and if we want to communicate to the subscriber that this function is finished executing, then we have a method called complete. So once complete executes, it will not execute next method. So observer dot next 4, suppose 4, so it will not execute the 4. So let's see how does it work. Now you see that it is returning 1 2 3 and but not 4 because complete method. Now let's see, let's check the method whether a complete method is executed or not. So if you want to check complete method is worked or not, then we have a 2 methods called, one is error. If your error returned by subscriber, then we'll print the error. or if it is completed, then it will not return anything. It will just as soon as we run this method, it will show you method that 1 2 3, it printed 1 2 3 and sequence finished. And similarly, if our demo service return some error, that time also it will not execute either complete or something. It will just stop there, dot error. See, 1 2 3 and error occurred. So that's how our observable works. But this execution was synchronous. Suppose if I want to simulate asynchronous way, then I will use set interval and return this number by increasing the number and send it and return in some certain period of time. So for example, I'm creating number where an type of number and initial value is 1. Then I'm using set interval function, I don't need this function, and observer dot next n, and I'm increasing the value of n plus 1, and I'll check if n equal to 5, observer dot complete. And I'm removing this all functions from here. And it will iterate in every 500 second. So every 500 second. Command S, let's check. So let's see, refresh it, 1 2 3 4, and it did not execute at 5 because at 5 it will finish. So this is how observable works.